Hi guys, it's Andy from mcfcfantv. Well, another win, another 3 points. Absolutely incredible performance. Wasn't the best, but an incredible performance against a very, very, very good West Ham team. And so we've got to be thankful of the 3 points. It wasn't great at times. First half was a little bit sloppy, a little bit slow. The passing from both teams, I thought, in the first half they were off. Sergio looks like he needs minutes in his legs, but delicious. The delicious duo. They got the goals, and both of them were superb again today. But let's see who is on. We'll hopefully have Ross joining me in Australia. He's on his way home after watching the game, so hopefully Ross will be around very shortly. But just thought I'd do a quick post-match, see what you guys thought of today's performance. And I guess we are going to have days whereby we're not at our best, scintillating best, passing best. But after only, well, Pep mentioned it, didn't he? He didn't want to make excuses, but sort of 48 hours after the Borussia Mönchengladbach game, not really had time. I think they flew back yesterday morning, had a bit of light training, and we're straight into another game like we are next week as well. But Charlie Everett's on. Good afternoon, Blues. That was a tough 2-1 win, 20 wins in a row. We keep going. It was tough, and I thought it would be a tough game. I went for a 3-0 because I just thought I never get it right. But it was bloody tough game. And another month unbeaten. With this month all wins. It's we don't look like getting beat though today on occasions. I think we did. We were a little bit sloppy, but overall the defense was absolutely amazing again, and the two main men at the back did what they needed to do. Julio Castaneda, is Chris Baker going to be on tonight? No, he's not. This is a Saturday afternoon. He's having some family time, but he won't be on. So I'm so sorry about that, Julio. Michael Feeney says, so happy with the result, and it was a hard game. So glad we won 12 to go. Wolves on Tuesday. It was very hard fought, I should say. Charlie thinks Julio is funny. Chris might be around on here though. It is another record for the most wins in a month. I mean, we're just breaking records left, right, and centre at the moment. That's the way we are. Peter Curry says that was a tough game. A draw wouldn't have been an unfair result. I'm probably with you on that one, Peter. I'll be honest with you. Probably a draw. You wouldn't. Saying that though, you only have to let's look at the possession stats in a second. But I thought they had more clear-cut chances or more possible chances than we did today. So I'm probably with you on that one. I would possibly say if we came away from that game 1-1, you wouldn't be you'd be disappointed that it wasn't 3 points, but you wouldn't be disappointed in the result per se, because I thought West Ham did very well today. Julio says, yeah, it wasn't the best, but we got the job done. You have to do that. We're not going to win 4-0, 5-0 things. We've got to just plough on through. Games are coming thick and fast, and we've got to manage the squad. And I thought Pep did that well today. Looking at the squad at the start, I was thinking, this could be interesting. Certainly, Sergio, it's great to see him back starting, getting some minutes in his legs because he needs it, and it's shown today. He was a little bit off the pace, but that will come the more game time he gets. Stones is 1 goal off level with Martial in the Premier League. Yeah, it's quite frightening, isn't it? Lassiel Blur's on 20 games and winning them all. Come on, City, absolutely. Addy's on. How are you, Addy? 20 straight wins it is. Michael Feeney says, we can't always have easy, but hard win and a great win. Come on, City. It can't always be. And I don't think anybody thought today, honestly, was going to be an easy game. West Ham are fourth for a reason. Whether they'll remain fourth, I'm not too sure. But they're up there because they're playing really, really good football and a very, very solid unit. And you saw today the way Moyes set up the team. I thought the first half in particular, their shape was excellent, absolutely brilliant. They got their 5 at the back, and it made it very difficult without the Fodens and Bernardos in the team. We looked a little bit slow in the transition from the midfield to the forwards. But Torres playing wide on the left didn't really suit him. I mean, he looked a little bit lost, but you could see why Pep was putting him so wide, was to try and drag them around a little bit. So he was. To be fair, let me just move that way. To be fair, he was doing a job for the team today, Torres, but he didn't really create much. And I think he had a conversation with Chris at half time, and I thought maybe Sergio off and bring Foden on and put Torres in that sort of false 9 role, because it felt like we needed a bit more energy. And you know what City do, though? They pass and pass and pass teams to death. And they did an awful lot of running. And you could see chances were being created, certainly in the second half. You could see it almost looked like we were going to score. Sorry, my dog is just jumping up and down on me here. Martin Sloan says, great result. Anyone can score in this team. Well, you need everybody. United, the treble team, the 99 team, they had defenders scoring and midfielders and things like that. It's not always about one striker scoring 20, 30, 40 goals. You need, we've got that. We need players from all positions chipping in. And today, 2 defenders. Sean Fogarty's on. Hi, how are you, Sean? Hope you're well. Chris said, keeping my head down. Is that in reference to Julio? Charlie Everett says, it's difficult to stay up with all these records being broke. I know, I must admit, I've lost count of what we broke and what we haven't at the moment. And the season's not even over. Lassie Blur says, let's be realistic, 3 games in less than 6 days. Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to absolutely take its toll on the players, hence why Pep rotated today. It's probably, you won't put it in the tops. That team today, you wouldn't say was potentially in the top 3 strongest teams we could put out, but he had to rotate. Players. I mean, I thought Gundogan looked leggy, even though I thought he did okay. He looked leggy today for me, and hence why he brought Rodri on. My dog wants to play with me. He's brought his llama to play. You go and play with that. King of Assist says, hi, young Andy. Young Andy. God, I wish I was young, mate. Trust me. I really do, especially after my walk yesterday and today. Who else is on? Dupes is on. Yay, you're live. Yeah, come on, City. Says Dupe. King of Assists. Oh, sorry, big jump there. Sorry, let me go back there. Go back. God, there's been tons of comments on. Let me get through them. And not the best performance, but a win is a win, says King of Assists. Absolutely. That was the hardest win of the season. I agree with that, Stephen Dempson. I think he's spot on with that. And we are, and there'll be more of those before the end of the season, without a shadow of a doubt. Leonard's on. Afternoon, everyone. Andy, 20 wins. 3rd European record. Stones is a beast, said Dupes. Julio says, did KDB and Aguero affect the flow of the game? Maybe. But then, Kevin affected the game by that unbelievable cross. Ross has arrived. What's this? Andy, are you wearing open arms? No, mate. This is Humble Gents Social Club. He's a rag. The guy who owns it, but he does a load of terrace wear and things like that. If you want to go over and check out his website, it's called Humble Gents on Twitter, and Humble Gents Social Club, and he does all sort of terrace wear and stuff like that. Let's bring him in because he's raced home and he's here. So let me just put that like that and add him to the screen. Here he comes. Here's Delicious. He hasn't got his cagoule on, but what were your thoughts on that, mate? Oh, look at him. He thinks he's Pep.
Well, what can I say, Andy? It is... oh, mate. I'm just... just John Stones and Diaz.
Superb.
I'm starting to think that like the thing delicious that I came out with is, apart from my wife and my kid, probably one of the best things that I've ever thought of.
Well, listen, we have to get that trending. Hashtag delicious. I mean, you said it. It's yours. It's your hashtag. Doggy's going mental. Stop it. He's happy as well. Yeah, it is, and they're just getting better. I mean, John Stones was given man of the match.
By far. Can you believe, Andy? Can you believe, Andy? I said about 70 minutes in, John Stones is by far and away City's best player today.
Yeah.
And half the room started having a go at me.
What?
Honestly, this is why I don't go out and watch football anymore. It's what we were talking about a few weeks. It's unbelievable. The treatment, and we'll get into it as we go through the post-match, the treatment, or well, I'd say the comments that I've heard tonight about some of City's players. Because, all right, we didn't play that great, but a good side grinds results.
Absolutely. Of course they do.
Unbelievable what I've heard tonight. Unbelievable.
I mean, honestly. Jesus. I mean, Stephen Dempster said, I mean, I'll bring it back up. I said it before. And he said that was the hardest win this season.
Yeah.
And it's a win. It's 3 points. And we are going to, like I said, Pep was trying to not play up the 48 hours, and we're playing an early kickoff as well on a Saturday after travelling back, I believe, yesterday morning from Budapest with the team. And then we're straight into a 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday. And they've had no time, really. And we are playing literally every 3-4 days, non-stop, continuously. And we have got a big squad, hence why you saw quite a few changes today. And it was always going to be. We're not playing a Sheffield United. We're playing a team that are in fourth and are doing fantastically well and are beating a lot of teams this season. So I always thought it'd be a difficult game for people to, start having a go at certain players because we only won 2-1, and I find it bizarre. I do find it.
I totally agree, Andy. I mean, I was sat there after about 30 minutes and talking to a few, one blue from Clayton and one from Moston, so like old school. Yeah. And we all three of us said, I'll take a point today, because I thought West Ham, if I was a West Ham fan tonight, God, I'd be like, how have we not got some out of that game? Because at one point they flashed the stats up. I think they had 7 attempts and we'd only had 2. So regardless of the possession.
Well, looking at the stats here, then, 63% possession, fair enough, against 37. We had 10 shots, they had 9. We had 3 shots on target, they had 3 as well. So, we only had 3 shots on target the whole game. I mean, let's face it, up until the goal, their keeper had absolutely nothing to do. And Edison was the one that was being worked non-stop in that first half.
Yeah. I mean, I had to resuscitate Alan about 3 times. I mean, it was unbelievable. No wonder he's losing his hair. And the best thing about the game tonight was, though, I held it and I held it. I'd had 3 pints and I started and I said, I'm going to go to the toilet and I'll either miss a goal or I'll get back right on a goal. And as I got back, I said to Alan, I don't know why you're so worried. If we put John Stones up front, he'll score the winner.
And he did.
And he did.
I know. I saw that on Twitter. But it was. I mean, I said earlier to somebody who said on there, you probably walk away from that, even as a City fan. And if it was 1-1, you'd probably go, fair play to West Ham. They did really well. But we got the win, and that's the main thing. Hello, you. My little fella's here just giving me notes of wants to play. SOS says 3 more points. That's all that matters. My nails are a bit shorter, but who cares? I felt today, I must admit, SOS, I felt today was the first time I've normally been watching City for the last few months. Very calm, very chill. But today I was pacing. I had the telly on in here. The boys were watching the telly in the living room, and I was going from living room to here. I don't think I've not sat down at all today to watch any of the match. I've actually walked from room to room, and that's how I felt, because I thought it just feels like one of those games that they're going to get a chance here, and then they went and equalised, and then that at the end was like, oh my God, Jesus Christ, but we got the 3 points, and there'll be more of those games, I'm sure, in the coming weeks. Abdallah says, great game, great win. On to Wolves on Tuesday. Come on, up the Blues. Agree. Are Aguero's days over? I would say that, mate. I think you could see today he needs time in his legs. He didn't look anywhere near as sharp or as fit as he has been. Leonard said, can't say anything bad today because of that travelling. Yeah, agree, Leonard. It's hardly any rest at all. Noah's on. Hey up, Andy. Hope you're good. Yeah, very well. Hope you're well as well. Come on, City, says Connor Shaw. People are hating. You love to see it. Are they giving it large? Are they? Mr. Whippy is on. Good for Aguero to get the minutes. Will improve second up. Absolutely. We said this. We've spoken about it. We spoke about it on the Friday Night Social. He's got to have those minutes, and he's not going to be brilliant. He isn't going to be brilliant. He needs to get, either we don't play him and that's it, or we need to have games, 2 or 3 games of him where he's not great. He might get a goal, but he's not really contributing a great deal. But that's what he needs. He needs game time. Rice did great as well. I thought Rice's passing was very good overall, but I thought they were sloppy with their passing in the first half. As good as West Ham were, less than 3 days rest showed. We got away with a win as we couldn't get out second gear. Yeah, but we'll take it. We still got a win. That was a game today we possibly last year would have lost or definitely drawn. I don't think we would have won that game today on last year, but we've got a different mentality this season overall. Let me just see if there's anybody else on comments before we have a quick chat. Peter Curry says, no chance King of Assists. He'll be back banging them in. He just needs game time. He does. Jack Lee's on. How are you, Jack? Good afternoon, Blues. Must give credit to West Ham. Absolutely. Leonard says, who would have thought our best back pairing will score both goals? Well, I think somebody did. Hashtag delicious there. ESPN FC was trying to bring up the Angelino transfer to Bash Pep. Well, that's no surprise, is it? Goes to grades. Chris Baker, all fine, mate. Gutted the media. People are still moaning about our money despite our brilliant performance. Let them crack on with it. I think everyone was a bit on edge, pacing about watching the game. Another win, though, absolutely. Hi, Dudley Lewis, how are you? Cheddar says, hi, guys, hard-fought win today. It was. Diaz didn't rest at all. I mean, on that one, Cheddars, I actually think... Oh, what's that? Hi, Gav. Yeah, I actually think that's good for us. I think that's a good sign. I don't know what you think. Delicious.
No, I think I always remember, it's back to like when you start watching football, my old fella and even my granddad saying, good teams don't always play well, but still win.
Yeah.
And that's I've actually seen that with City this season. There's been some other games where we've not played that great, where I've thought as well, like, oh God, if we only had a forward. But we've ground out the result. Guys, 20 matches.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not bothered if, like, some of the comment, I mean, I'm maybe we'll get into this later on, Andy, but I think there's the new fan and the old fan. And, like, that game tonight is nowhere near the worst City game I've ever seen.
Oh my God, no! I mean, nowhere. Absolutely. Don't. I mean, you couldn't even.
I lost it at one point, and my mate said to me, "Don't tonight, Ross, because you always do this. Don't do it. And I got to 78 minutes. I looked on the clock, and I did my old turn round and said, was you not a City fan in the 90s?" And silence then, because then you're the idiot. But I just like, just honestly, that when we'll get into this, won't we, mate, when we talk about the game, but I just can't believe, and yes, it's different. Yes, I'm in Melbourne, but not everyone in that game tonight was a new fan. There's some older fans there watching it and just absolutely slating players who have won 19 games while we're drawing 1-1.
Yeah.
And I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we don't normally do these post-match for that reason, because you can be depending on, I mean, obviously we're on this run of wins and everyone can get excited and things like that, but sometimes you need to sort of take 12, 24 hours, have a look at the match again, bits and pieces, and then sort of form your opinion, especially after it's a draw or a loss. And you're thinking, oh shit. And then when you watch things back, I mean, I've done that loads of times where, you know, I've gone, oh, Jesus Christ, you know, what happened here? And then actually when I've watched it back, I was wrong, you know, and I looked at it and thought, it wasn't really, you know, his fault. It was, you know, a combination of midfielders not tracking back as well. And I've given, whether it be Zinchenko or Mendy or something, loads of grief. And so that's why I tend not to do the post-match immediately after, but today, due to time constraints and things, we're doing it. But I guess that's, you get it at the games as well, don't you? You get it.
Oh, yeah.
You're in the stadium, you can hear it around you. You're always going to get the people who are just constantly just, you know, if it's, I mean, I'll be honest, I thought the first half our passing was appalling. And I thought West Ham's wasn't great either. I thought it was two teams that looked very nervy. I thought City looked a little bit leggy, couldn't get going, and the passing, even from right before I was talking to Chris, and Kevin De Bruyne's passing, when he played that ball in for Diaz, which was just unbelievable. We'll talk about that. But Chris messaged me saying, I was just going to say, Kevin De Bruyne has been shit. And I went, I've been saying it all game. So, my lads, I mean...
Well, and Andy, guess who shouted that out in a pub? Just, I reckon I was probably 28 seconds before that pass.
Yeah.
I said, De Bruyne is having a horrible game, one of the worst I've seen.
Yeah.
He keeps passing it to West Ham, and then he did that. So obviously, you can imagine what feedback I got.
Yeah, but you get that, don't you? But he was really poor. His passing was well off, and then he goes and pulls out, and that's what he does. That's why he's such an important.
That's why he played, right?
Exactly that. Let's just see anyone else on here. Charlie Everett says, in this period, in this era, global situation, to be able to do 20 wins is maybe one of the greatest achievements we have done, says Pep Guardiola. I agree. On there, Joe Cole was absolutely, on post-match here on BT, Joe Cole was absolutely, he was raving about City, and he was saying similar stuff, you know, you need those wins. I mean, I can remember Roy Keane in an interview talking about the United 99, the treble winners, and he said there were some games that season, or there were periods in that season, we were poor, but we just won 1-0, or we won 2-1, or, you know, we actually ground out last-minute winners and things like that. That's what great teams do. Great teams do. And obviously Joe Cole was talking about, could they go on and win the quadruple? And he said if they did, it would obviously be, the way they're playing at the moment, this would be the greatest team we've ever seen, certainly in our lifetime, because where they've come from 11th, 12th, 13th, to where they are now, 13 points clear at the top of the table, as it stands, is a phenomenal turnaround. Absolutely phenomenal turnaround. Peter Curry says, if it wasn't for Dickoff's going out now, I don't know where we'd be today. Yeah, well, I think there's been a lot of occasions like that, haven't they? Not just that, people will say Yaya Touré's goals against Newcastle, and you know what would have happened then with the knock-on effect. I mean, there's been, you always in the season get those type of things. Like I said, BT Sky, Top Sport fuming, please more of the same. Yeah, absolutely. We're happy with that one. Let's see how Blur says, some fans are spoiled. I don't blame them because of how good City has been. Wins in all comps in Europe ever. Bayern Munich 23, Real Madrid 22, and City 20 now. Goes to show you, it's the greatest team regardless. That's a big shout. Not won anything yet. Not won anything yet. But if we can continue in the vein that we're going in, and we've got pretty much a full fit squad with Ake due to its return hopefully next week, and we don't get any more injuries, but the squad are looking phenomenal. I think when Liverpool lost to Villa, haven't that give the players a boost? Maybe. Legend Dickoff will never be forgotten. Deep says, City. Hey, you should see the video that Ross sent me through before. You know, after a couple of people going about, oh, Charlie should have his hair cut and all that type of things. You should see his new. Ross gave him a new sort of hairdo today, and I showed it my wife. She was absolutely, oh my god, he's so cute, yeah, brilliant. We might save that video maybe for the Friday night social because it's absolutely brilliant.
Andy, at the moment, maybe I'll just share a quick one with the guys here just to cheer everyone up a bit, even though we've won. But we were in Melbourne Zoo today and we were at the baboon enclosure. There was probably about 100 or 150 people and everyone's really quiet because they're watching the baboons do all the stuff and get Charlie out the pram and what does he start shouting?
City.
And then people start saying, what's he saying? Then he starts laughing and pointing at them and saying, City. So we got asked to leave the baboon enclosure.
Brilliant. Love it. Proper mank gets kicked out of a zoo enclosure. Brilliant. Where with City winning, expect more mentions about the war in Yemen. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll get that, won't we? Certainly Miguel Delaney will make sure he does. Pundits are running out of analysis, making 11 of our bench and talk about money. Yeah. Or just leave them to it. Absolutely leave them to it. That means we're doing something right when that happens. So anyway, we've got Mark Seal says, love you, Ross, from the Seals.
Right, that's a lad who I coached from under 5s to under 16s.
Yeah.
And actually made him wear a shirt in training because he was meant to be a goal scorer and he scored 1 in 19. So I made a shirt for him that said 1 in 19. And then he went on a thing. He won Player of the Year for 3 years and scored 20 goals in every season after that. So tough love works.
There you go, Mark Seal. Well done, fella. Right. We've got probably about 15 minutes left. So let's talk about the game in particular. Give me your overall view of the first half, second half. This is just a quicker post-match review. Sorry. We'll probably do another video tomorrow where we'll talk about the game in depth and player ratings and that type of thing. But what was your overall thought on the way we set up the game, the second half, the goals, all that type of thing?
I mean, I think the way we set up was pretty obvious that Pep wanted to give quite a lot of players a rest, as well as a lot of players an opportunity to see what they can do. I think Torres was one of those. Obviously, he wanted to put Fernandinho in there to give Rodri, which wasn't that much of a surprise. And then he wanted to give Sergio some minutes. I mean, I was really impressed with how West Ham set up and how they started the game. So I agree with you, Andy. Like, both teams looked a bit nervy giving the ball away. But they actually came to City and didn't do that standard team of everyone behind the ball. They left 3 up there. They pressed. I thought Antonio was a real threat, and he really bullied players around. Yeah. But I actually thought, as they got into the game, I thought it was quite an even game, actually. And I actually quite enjoyed how it wasn't one of them standard City have all the ball, the other team just sit back and wait. So I actually, big credit to West Ham. I mean, I think a lot of us, as you said on the Friday night social, have a soft spot for him. But big credit to him, because I thought, other than City going 1-0 up and then them equalising, I thought 1-1 was a pretty even first half. And to be fair, like I said in the boozer to a couple of lads, they've had the better chances in this game.
Yeah, they did, definitely. Without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. You only have to look, like I said, their keeper had nothing to do apart from that brilliant cross by De Bruyne. So onto the goal, we got the first goal, which was all important. And now I said to my lads after that, and we're getting sort of 4 or 5 minutes before the end, thinking we could do with the second day before half time. Yeah. What did they do? They go up and they score, and it's 1-1. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ, it's going to be one of those days. But what were your thoughts on Kevin's cross?
Oh, mate, I mean, the cross was, like I said to you before, up until then, I was a little bit disappointed in him. I didn't think he was tracking back like he normally does. Obviously, the bar's high with Kevin. I thought his through balls, there was a couple not really on his game. He just didn't look right, whether that's fitness or match practice. But then he pings that in. It's on a sixpence, right? But also, I think you've got to give massive credit. I mean, I loved it. I actually loved it how Stones and Diaz both wanted that more than anyone in the City team.
Yeah.
It was like those, and I know, the hashtag delicious and everything, but those two at the moment, they're just everywhere together. It's like, and it felt like the way they celebrated, even that it was like, I'm not bothered that I scored. That's as much mine as yours. And I just thought, I said to who I was sat next to, and again, like an old school City fan, if you like, I said, that was like an old school centre half goal. There's been a corner. I'm going to stay up because I want to score a goal.
Yeah.
And no one would have saved it. So it was just nice to see, right?
There's just tons of power in it, wasn't it? It's a close range. Keeper couldn't really do much about it, if I'm honest. Like I said, I agree with you. Up to that point, I thought, like I said, me and Chris were chatting, and it was, I thought Kevin was poor, and it weren't like he was trying wonder balls, and you're going, ooh, it's just like, there were balls. Normally, he just puts him behind the back of a player, and everything was straight at the play, and you're thinking, God, he's having a real bit of a mare here. What's going on? And maybe he needs his fitness back, which we know he probably does need another couple of games. But then he pulls it onto his left foot, his wrong foot. Not wrong for him. Not
has he got one?
Has he got one? Yeah, he's got both, hasn't he? But then it wasn't like, when you normally see a right-footed player do a cross with the left, you see the body action and the shape and everything. You can see that's not their natural foot, favoured foot. But the way he actually hit it, it was like he hit it with power and precision. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal, and right in the perfect spot. And Diaz got up and powered it home, and then, they sort of tried a little bit, getting at us. And then we looked that opening there. I mean, I posted to Chris there. I was really disappointed in Torres. Now, I know Torres had got a knock. He got tackled just before, a minute or two before it. But he was not watching his run. And it just allowed him so much room. And we've actually had to go, haven't we, about Sterling in one game not tracking back. But then in the second half, he did. But I thought Torres there, after everything that probably Pep has heard in the dressing room, having a go at Sterling for not tracking back, or Mahrez for not tracking back, to leave him with so much space. And, of course, the ball.
There's a couple of things there, Andy, like as I was watching it, and I just thought, so a couple of comments I've come away from that game. There's no doubt in my mind that Torres is going to be an absolutely fantastic footballer. But right now, I don't think he's a starter. I think he's a player who he's an impact player, last 20, last 25, especially when he's on the same side as Zinchenko. And I think today potentially shown that our best back four needs Cancelo at left back and Walker at right back. Because I also think, as well as what you've said about Torres, I think Zinchenko today, for me, and I'm not slagging the lad off, I think he's done great, but potentially today was his worst game I've seen for a while. And against a top four side, I'm going to say. So when he comes up against the sides pushing and in Europe, I think Pep will go with Cancelo and Walker.
I agree with that. I do agree with it because it does give options. I mean, we saw today, we know Walker's nowhere near as good going forward as Cancelo is creatively. But, I mean, there was a time today where Lingard went through on the left wing, I think it was, or it might have been Antonio in the first half, was it? I think, I can't remember. But my lad I just went, oh my God. And Walker came back and won the ball back off him after he was like 5 yards behind him. And Lingard's pretty quick. So is Antonio. And my younger lad just went, well, he was just jogging there. He wasn't at full pace to get back. I mean, that's how comfortable, how quick Kyle Walker is. And I do think potentially you're right. I think with Walker as a right back, he might not be as good going forward, but he brings that protectiveness again with our two centre backs, and that would allow Cancelo, and they can all move over, and Cancelo can go fill his false 8 role, false 10 role, wherever he wants to play, because he's in such great form at the moment. But I do always feel when Walker plays, it just brings that. If we have somebody who's quick, they're not as quick as Walker. All right, maybe Traore and things like that, but as a defender, his recovery speed is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And when you've got those two, the delicious duo, just there covering, mopping up, it allows Cancelo to go forward or somewhere else. And I agree. I thought Zinchenko today, he put in a few great late tackles at the end, but I thought he did okay today. I'm not going to be too harsh on him. I thought he did okay today at left back, but it was one of those games where, for most of the game, you wouldn't give anybody more than a 6 or a 7. They were all a little bit.
I agree. I agree, and I feel a little bit sorry for Walker sometimes, because Cancelo's been playing so well. Yeah. I mean, I've seen a few comments, and I've heard a few comments in the pub tonight that Walker didn't, he was appalling or he was dreadful. I mean, I think what people focus on is
Walker tonight. Walker was dreadful.
I mean, I've seen a few comments on the chat and in the pub that he was dreadful tonight. I just don't. Walker seems to be one of those players for me where people focus when he gives the ball away, or they don't see what he gives us. And this is my point with Sterling as well. Without Sterling in our team, regardless of how he plays, we don't have as much balance and we don't have as much push forward, because when Sterling plays, we have that extra outlet, which at times, and I think that's what we saw when Gabby came on. So people will say Gabby didn't score, but Gabby changed the game.
Yeah. Well, I said at half time to Chris, I said, what I would like to see is, well, I didn't specify when, but I would like to see Sergio off and Sterling, Foden to come on the left and put Torres inside in a false 9 or a striker's role or something, just with a bit more energy. I think we were lacking quite a bit of energy, and I don't think that was Torres' fault tonight. I think Pep purposely made him stand on that sideline and try and drag them out, even though they weren't buying it. He was a real out ball and loads of space, but didn't really do a great deal with it. It was all a lot of huffing and puffing and then play it back to Zinchenko or Kevin De Bruyne. And Mahrez was doing something similar on the right. It was a lot of huffing and puffing, and it was all just ball back again. And it was one of those frustrating times, and fair play to West Ham for forcing that on City, but not really anything. I'm thinking we need that little bit of drive. 2 players in the team that can drive into the box with the ball and beat a player are Sterling and Foden. And I think we were missing that in that first half, because Aguero was dropping deep, Kevin De Bruyne was going beyond him, and then Torres was so far out on the left, and Mahrez was so far out on the right. They both got the ball fairly easily, but then there was not much came from it, because they just were easily getting back into position. I agree. I think when Gabby came on, the dynamics changed for me, and we looked like we were a little bit quicker in transition. We were a lot more runs were running, and obviously the timeline, as we normally happens, we know that we tend to run teams into the ground after sort of 60, 70 minutes, and you could see spaces definitely opening. But onto what turned out to be the winner. John Stones. Mahrez played a great part in that as well. Lovely little play and a great ball. What a finish! And
I think as well, I want to give a shout out to Mahrez, and I mean, just telling the guys as well, watching this as we all, I suppose, being in a pub is the nearest to a game. I mean, the majority of people were on Mahrez's back watching the game for the full game, and that goal, I actually said to everybody in the boozer, I said, great goal, but did you see the intelligence of the run, the stop, the head up, and where he placed it? We've got to give massive credit to Mahrez there. Like, he doesn't get the credit he deserves. But as for John Stones, man, I'm just so glad that I've backed him for all his time at City. I mean, I don't really get on players' backs anyway. but I'm just glad I backed him. Yes, he's had difficult times, but honestly, if the fridge is worth 85 million, what's that guy worth? I mean, in the so all right, we've got two of them because we got the one, aren't they? I call them one. They're delicious. Take Diaz out of it. In the Premier League right now, who's a better centre half than John Stones? I think you're really, really pushing it, and then you push it to Europe. Yeah. And I tell you what, this is where I know we've chatted about this on the Friday night social, Andy, and we'll probably do it again as the months go on. But man, if he is not a shoo-in for the England, I mean, I think he could be England captain. He's a footballing centre half. He's just so cool.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And people forget he's actually quite quick, and he grounds very quick. And it's some of his tackling. You know, he made some slide tackles, but got the ball, didn't take the player, and things like that. He was just, for me, I think Diaz has made the impact on the team, and I think that he's probably improving the likes of Aymeric Laporte and John Stones as well. But it's hard to split them for me because I think Stones he's not done it all season, but he is now doing it, like the likes of Gundogan. He's now playing in the last few months, playing really well. Cancelo, the last few months, is playing really well. But now Stones is back. He's playing. Diaz has been consistent since the start of the season, fairly consistent as an incredible player. But John Stones, for me, is just, I mean, it's like a brand new signing. It is just brilliant.
What summed it up for me, Andy, tonight was in the first half, there was a chance that West Ham had where it actually came from a deflection from John Stones about 3 yards outside the box, where Ederson and Antonio's entitled to get up there. And then the follow-up shot was blocked by John Stones 4 yards from goal.
Yeah.
And I actually, the VP didn't show me. I was like, he had the deflection 3 yards outside the box, and then he's just blocked the shots 4 yards from goal. Yeah. Like, how's that even? So his desire to get back in there, to clear it, and then after that, which was shown over here on our coverage, him and Diaz, it's like the brothers. I mean, they're like the Cray twins.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have another hashtag. You know, the nice Cray, the nice Crays.
Stephen says, apart from the pass to Stones, what else did Mahrez do in the game? Because I'm not. I didn't think any. Like I said, at the first half, I don't think anybody. You'll give credit for a brilliant pass by Kevin De Bruyne, great header by Diaz. But I think, all right, I thought Stones and Diaz were okay in the first half. I'm talking more about the adventurous side of Man City. I thought we were very average with our passing and energy levels and creativity. But second half, I thought it was different. I guess that's what happens when teams just have to watch and watch and watch. And basically, you have to watch those players for 94 minutes of a game, because just one little switch off, you're out of position by 2 yards. You're going to get punished. Or you could get punished by Man City, and that's what happened. It was a great finish because I'll be honest with you, I thought the ball when Mahrez played the ball in Stones, I'm thinking, oh my lord, what finish! And actually, when I saw the replay, that ball from Mahrez was actually fizzed in at him. Not a nice little gentle layoff for him to crack. He banged it in at him, and he reacted so quickly to get his head over the ball, keep it low. And I think Joe Cole said in the post-match, he went, how many times have we seen those passes, those shots go 10 yards over the bar? Because that's what tends to happen a lot of the time. But it was like a striker's finish. His technique was exceptional. He got over the ball, and he read that ball, very quickly. Got his body in there. But what's Chris saying here? Chainsaw dusted off. So we got some on, have we? Mr. Whippy, I was one of them. So happy he's made me eat my words. Oh, Martin's on. Are you going to apologise to Mahrez, Chris? Well, I think I heard, isn't that Kevin De Bruyne now only 3 behind David Beckham now in Premier League assists? 3 behind David Beckham, Premier League.
And he's gonna play for at least
another
3,
4 or
4,
5 years.
years.
Yeah. Three behind.
They'll probably reclassify what an assist is, just so.
Yeah, probably. I think.
I tell you what, though. I tell you what, guys, and I listen to the chat, and Andy will know this. Once De Bruyne has his haircut, you better watch out, because
haircut, #haircut.
He's like, honestly, but the one man in our team who doesn't, I just think, I agree, Diaz has changed our season. I mean, he's just done amazing things. But Stones, Andy, I think you've hit the nail on the head. He's like a new signing. He's the player we bought. He's the player we bought right now.
Yeah.
That's what we bought.
Yeah. You're absolutely spot on. He is the player that we all thought at the time, oh, what a signing this is. He's such a classy player. He's shown glimpses of it, but then was so inconsistent. Then he had a couple of niggles, and then the last 18 months has been a lot of off-field stuff and going on, and he's just never had a run of games. And now, and let's face it, he's still proper. How old is John Stones? Is he 20?
26, 27?
7. So he's now reaching where his best years are coming. We just thought 5 years ago he was going to be doing that like a Diaz is at 23, and he's only now just reaching his maturity as a defender.
Here's the interesting thing as well. So we know this never happens when City win the league anyway, but the player of the year in the Premier League, Foden and Diaz could be battling it out for young player of the year. Then you've got players like Diaz, Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, seriously, this is going to be one of them years where, like, Scott Parker won it when we won the league. They're going to give it someone random.
Yeah.
We could have. We definitely.
You do know Bruno Fernandes is going to win it, don't you?
Mate, and that's the thing.
It's nailed on.
Nailed on. But you know what? Stop him, you stop the team. But we've got players everywhere who could. Yeah. I mean, it'd be great, I think, for a keeper to win it. I mean, what other keeper? He's going to probably smash the clean sheet record.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It is frightening when you think we've got. For me personally, and it's only my opinion, I think, even though today I think he made a couple of Eddie, but that's what I like Eddie about. It does make your heart race a few times. But I think we possibly got the best keeper in Europe. I think we've got the 2 best centre-backs in Europe. I think we've possibly got the best, if you want to call him a left-back, when he plays there, Cancelo. But it's hard to define Cancelo. I can't put him in a right-back, left-back.
Hey, Andy.
You don't play those positions.
Just to jump in there, Andy, on the 2 best centre-backs. I'm going to trump you there. I'm going to say the 2 best centre-backs in the world.
Well, I can't think of. I honestly can't think of any. I can't think of any 2 pairing. And
combined age.
I only say Europe because I don't really count the rest of the world's teams. So I think we've got the best clubs in European football, haven't we? That you would go off. There's not other leagues around the world that you would go. Yeah, but there's this pairing in the Brazilian league or the Argentinian league. So if I'm just saying Europe, for me means.
Yeah, you're right, mate. Because it's definitely not. There's definitely no one over here who's getting it. So
no. So for me, we've got, I think, the best keeper that I want at City. And I think he's the best in the world at what he does. We've got the 2 best centre backs. You could argue Kyle Walker's up there somewhere. Cancelo could easily be if he was classified as a left or right back, but he isn't. I think we've got the best midfielder in world football in Kevin De Bruyne. You could even make a case for Rodri being right up there at the moment, and Fernandinho on his day can easily be that. Up front, that's the conundrum at the moment with us, because you're going, well, we haven't got Sergio Aguero back to his best. So striker-wise, we've not been playing with the striker. So who else is, I mean, you only have to look at the Mahrez assist and Sterling, and we've got possibly the best youngster in Phil Foden in Europe, or one of the most exciting ones. People will say Haaland and Mbappe are strikers. That's fine. I wouldn't argue with that. I'm talking about other players. So we've got a team at the moment where you could pick 5 or 6 players going in their positions. They're probably the best in Europe right now. And I would say we're the most informed team in Europe right now. Doesn't mean say we'll go on and win everything, but Steve Dempsey says Fernandinho was brilliant today. I think Fernandinho didn't have his greatest game, but what he does is he's a firefighter. He puts out fires, he spots danger. I don't think he was as energetic, let's call it. And I thought he played some dodgy passes today as well. But I'm not gonna be too harsh on him because the guy's absolutely phenomenal. Anyway, I did put a community chat poll on, so maybe I just need to, before we go, just check out what that was. And I did say, how many trophies will Man City win this season? And I gave the options of 1, 2, 3, or 4. Well, 6% think 1, 21% think 2, 21% think 3, and 52% of you think we're going to win the quadruple. I'm sure that's Martin. He's created about 20 accounts, hasn't he, and done that. Leonard says, I agree on Ferner. Charlie says, City wins, sun's out, blue sky, happy Saturday blues. Absolutely, yeah, it's gorgeous day. Absolutely gorgeous here. I went out for a nice 90-minute walk with my dog this morning. It was beautiful. Horsey City says, Martin says, 4 quaddies on. There you go. Leonard thinks it's going to be a domestic treble. Has anyone else won the quad? Not in Europe. I'm sure it's happened in some remote leagues and things like that, but not the quad that we're talking about, which is the Champions League, your domestic league, and your 2 domestic cups. I think it's going to be. I don't like putting things on it, but I thought I'd ask the question because everybody else, all the pundits, seem to think City should be winning the quad this season, and I disagree with that.
What do you probably? We should probably
3.
put ourselves on the
3.
spot, Andy. You
3.
think 3?
Yeah.
What 3 do you think? Sorry, mate.
Domestic treble.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see us winning the Champions League this year, but I don't know.
Do you know what?
I'm happy with another domestic treble. Remember, we're saying about Man City, another domestic treble. Well, nobody else had done it, but I'd be another domestic treble.
I'm with you, mate. I think totally with you. We take the league and the FA Cup over everything. I actually think we could win 3, but the one we miss out on is the Carabao Cup.
Oh God, can you imagine? That'd be 4 on the trot.
That's the one I'm more worried about because of him.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, Premier League for me. I think today was a big.
Take the league.
I think today was a big game. I think that was a tough game. We got the 3 points when we possibly didn't deserve all 3 points, but we got it. And for me, that shows you that's another step towards the title. And I'll be over. If we won that and won nothing else, I'd be right. I'm happy because that puts us back in the driving spot. I'm not sure the club would view it that way in the current situation, but I'm sure the club and the owner and everything else would want at least another couple of trophies on top of that, considering we're already in the final of the Carabao Cup. We're in a strong position in the FA Cup and we're doing very well in Europe. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should switch it and say Premier League, Champions League and Carabao Cup and not the FA Cup this year. I don't know. I've got no idea. I'll take anything. Premier League first, always.
Yeah.
I think I'd be disappointed if we didn't get a double. I would say, from the positions we're in, I don't think that's a great season. It's great we're winning the Premier League again, but if we don't win another trophy with that Premier League, I'd probably go. Considering the run we've been on and everything else, I expected 2. If we can get 3.
Imagine though, Andy, 20 years ago, someone saying,
"Oh, it's madness."
You remember the year you won the league, but you lost in 2 cup finals.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's like going, "Oh my God, I'd be disappointed if we don't get promoted." And here we are going, "Well, I'll be disappointed."
Here's a funny one, Andy.
2 or 3.
I was talking to a young lad today who was to be fair, he's a new City fan, but he was in his teens, and he was asking me, and I said, "Oh, I remember when we were going to sign Jeff Thomas, but he left Crystal Palace and got to Wolves and didn't make it far enough for us." And he said to me, "Oh, that's that guy who rode a bike for cancer research."
He did,
isn't it?
yeah. Was it leukemia he had? I think.
Yeah.
Didn't he? Martin says 78 on. Hit those likes, Randy and Fernandinho's agent.
I wish I was.
Lela says double should be a minimum. I agree. That for me, I think, is a minimum. If we only won the Premier League this year, I'd be a bit disappointed. Don't jinx it, lads. We're not, and that's why we don't want to. It was a poll for everybody else, but this bugger asked me the question, so I had to answer it. What's this? King of Assists. Andy, explain to Chris who's Vidic and Ferdinand was. Huh? Andy, explain to Chris who's Vidic and Ferdinand was. He said, I was swearing. Sorry,
I think so. Vidic is a foreign bloke, and Ferdinand looks a bit like a camel.
I hate my phone. Oh, I hate my phone stolen a few weeks ago. That's why I'm beyond. Oh, you've had your phone stolen, Tim Smith. Sorry to hear that, mate. But thank you. You're back. Hopefully, you've got your phone back. One Chop Your Dick Off says, my worry is with Aguero and KDB fit, is Pep going to overthink things in Champions League? He needs to use Aguero and KDB as impact subs. I guess it's one of those for me. Let's leave it. I'm not going to worry about it. One Chop Your Dick Off. Leave it to Pep. I do think Pep's got that little glint in his eye at the moment that he's confident. He looks like he's got this vision at the moment, and he can see, and he knows when we're playing well. He knows things are falling into place. He knows that we've got the injuries, free of injuries at the right time of the season, and I just think we need to stick with him. But there will be wobbles on the road, trust me. If we lose a game in the Premier League, please don't start ranting and raving and this is crap and everything else. We are, at this moment in time, the 27th of February, 2020. We've just beaten West Ham, who were 4th, 2-1 at home, and we're 13 points clear. If in 3 weeks' time we've lost a couple of Premier League games, please do not be going, that's it, we're shit, we're this, that, and the other, we're crap, blah, blah, blah. Because right now, everybody is ranting and raving how brilliant Man City are, and we are. Take the rough with the smooth. I can't see us going unbeaten for the rest of the season. I do think we'll drop points and we'll probably get beat by somebody at some point when games come thick and fast in the Champions League and Pep really does start prioritising if we can get through the Mönchengladbach return leg. Anyway, that's it for today. We've been an hour on, and I want to say a massive thank you to #Delicious. He was right. He was right. He did say that Stones and Diaz are delicious. And after today's performance, who can argue with him? But anyway, thanks for coming on, Ross. Really do appreciate it, mate.
Thanks, mate. I'm just getting ready because it's 3 a.m. here now. Charlie gets up at 3 a.m. So we need to watch the match again because he loves watching the match with his milk in the morning and his wheat bix.
Really?
So I've got 3 hours kit, and then it's back on it really and relive it. So
absolutely. Well, listen, I do appreciate it, mate. I know your time is precious with your little one, and obviously giving us an hour for the show is much appreciated. Leonard, show Andy, Ross, and everyone. Charlie says #delicious, Gabby one goal, and #haircuts, and we've got #Cagoule. Did you not see them all walking out with the Cagoules on today? They had them all zipped.
The one thing I just want to tell everyone on the chat.
I sent you the Stones interview as well, and he had
I know he did. But the one thing I just want to tell you, Andy, and everyone on here now is about Alan, because I've never sat behind Alan at a game before, and he's thinning on top.
Is he?
He's balding. And there was also a lot of dye going on tonight.
Was it?
Yeah, Andy's drinking Diet Coke.
Oh.
So guys, I think we might need to get some sort of thing going for Alan because I'm worried about him. So I'm going to start a new hashtag from right now, Save Alan. He was so frustrated tonight.
Poor Alan. There we go. We'll put it up here. Save Alan. Is a star man. Save Alan. There you go. Hashtag Save Alan. I didn't see it, so I can't comment. But anyway, maybe he's just getting himself into shape, and he's going to come back in 2 or 3 months. And my lord, it'd be like having Brad Pitt on the show. You think not? There you go. Hashtag Save Alan, says Chris Baker. Dupes has got it trending now. It's going to be all over social media. But anyway, listen, thank you so much for today. I really do appreciate you coming on. And good win, City. Very, very, very good win and a great 3 points. And there you go. Alan equals Plodry saves me only, says Ghosty Grays. But yeah, thank you. Don't forget, give it a thumbs up now before we go. Just go down, click thumbs up. That'd be really appreciated. And if you're not subscribed to Man City Fan TV, what you're doing, click subscribe, hit that bell icon, and keep following us. We will be back at some point tomorrow where we will talk about the players and man of the match and all of those things. I don't know who's doing it yet, but we will be back at some point. But take care. City are 13 points clear as it stands at the moment. What a performance by hashtag delicious. But take care, and we will see you very soon.